Hello guys and welcome back. So let's go now to our OTP screen here and complete our code. So let's open OTP screen. Here in the OTP screen we need to pass in a verification ID. Let's say final string verification ID. Here it needs to be required verification ID, and then down here let's also initialize a nullable string which will be our OTP code. Let's call it as a SMS code, and then down here where we are in the on completed, once we complete adding these, let's call our method, our new method, which is going to be our verify OTP. So here on completed, before we were printing, but now let's set state. Let's get our SMS code. SMS code will be equal to our value, and then right after we set this down here, we need to verify our OTP here. So let's create that method for verifying our OTP. If we come down to, let's remove one of these. Down here we can say void verify OTP. Let's also give this some required arguments. Let's say build I don't think we need to pass a build context here. Let's just pass OTP string OTP code, or let's say, let's add it as required. Sorry, let's add it as required. String OTP, SMS code, that's what we're calling it. And then in here, let's also initialize our auth repo, which will be our provider of context. Let's import our provider package, authentication provider. We also don't want to, let's say, context, and then listen to be false, like that. And then what else do we need here? Let's now we need to run the method to verify. So let's come back to our authentication provider. Right after this method, let's create another method which will be our verify OTP. Let's say void verify OTP. Let's now require our context, required build context. We'll also require a verification code, a verification ID. Let's require a string verification ID. That's another string. SMS code. And then what else do we need? Let's maybe take, we need a function. Let's just format this. This function will be on our success. Let's format this, and then let's add an async keyword here. Okay, and then down here first we want to set the is loading property there to true, and then we'll notify the changes. Here let's now wrap this into a try catch block. Of course, we'll say on Firebase exception, let's catch the error. Here on exception, first of all, we want to set the is loading to false. Because we are finished here. Let's notify dataset changes. Then we want to show our snack bar, which is the same e.toString. Okay, and then inside here we will say phone auth credential. Phone auth credential will be equals to phone auth provider, this one, dot credential, and then let's take this down here, and then on the verification ID we will take our verification ID. On the SMS code we will take our SMS code. Let's put a comma here and close it out. Then after that is done, we'll say user, which is nullable, user, which comes from Firebase, is going to equal to our wait, our Firebase auth dot sign in with credential. Then we get our phone auth credential here, like that, and then this would be a user. We'll close that one out, and then now here, after we sign that, we check if the user is signed in. If user does not equal to now, which means user is signed in, we are going to assign our user ID on top here to the user ID that we've got here. Say user, or we say user dot UID. Now we assign our user ID on top there, and then let's notify the changes. And then next we will call on our on success function up here. So once this is successful, we are going to call our on a success function here, and then everything else is done. Let's also set back our easy loading will be equal to false, and then is successful. This one will be clear to you in the next screen. Our is successful. This one will also, now when is loading is false, we are going to call our is successful to true. Let's set our is successful to true. Now it's successful. So this is our method. Let's also just notify these changes. So this is our method to verify the OTP. And then if we come up here, we see that we've got an error because we added the verification ID. So just remove this constant keyword here. Then here you will type verification ID. Let's put our verification ID there, and then the error is gone. We can put the commas there. And then now when we go back to our OTP screen, here let's see where we are calling our method now. Here let's say auth-repo.verify OTP. Now we have called our method, and then the verification ID, we know where we are getting the verification ID. This one we are getting it from widget.verification ID. The SMS code is coming from here. And then on success, it's a function. So on this function, that's where now we decide on what we are going to do. So if this function is called, which means we have successfully verified. So if we have verified successful, what we want to do is to go to our user information screen. So we say navigator.push. Then here we say material page route. Context, we say user information screen. This one we can add the constant keyword here. So if we have successfully logged in, verified, we will go to the user information screen. So now to use our is loading is successful. Let's come back up here where we are after here below the input. So now also we need to call our verify OTP here. Let's call that method. So the SMS code, why are we? So this we need to add a now check like that. So we are calling this method, and then here after our OTP screen, let's maybe change this to 25. Then here, first of all, let's go back here and initialize our auth provider, but we can just come down here and copy this. And then also here, let's initialize it. We can say final. Yeah, we can initialize it like that. And then now here, since we want to listen for changes, let's remove this. We can either say listen to true, or we can remove all. We can remove this, but let's leave it like that. And then now down here where we are after the input here, after the sized box here, let's have a check. So let's say auth-repo dot is loading. If it is loading, let's show a secular progress indicator. So for that, we'll do constant of secular progress indicator. Let's give it our accent color, colors.orange accent. So if it is loading, let's show that. And then in the else statement, let's show the constants of sized box dot shrink. Let's minimize that. Okay, so this is what we want. If it is loading, we will show this. If not, we will show the size box. So to test this one out, let's come back to our authentication repo, authentication provider, here let's change this to true. So let's hot restart. We need to stop the application and run it again. So let's stop it and run it again. Okay, the application is running. Let's just wait for it to load.